out, baby. And they get to yo-yo, and they get to yo-yo, wind it up tight. We're gonna pogo round and around and around and around. We're gonna pogo.
So I'm going to shift gears a little bit here and introduce you. My studio guest finally made it here. Did you guys get lost on the way?
Just slow driving.
Slow driving. They're kind of out in the twilight zone here, but it's kind of a different era for a different subject that I'm used to. I have to switch my brain around this, but I want to give them airtime because it's so important what they do. And I want to start off by introducing my sister, Pat, and she's lives in Los Angeles, and she's a celebrity. Pat, why don't you come over here to the microphone? In that when she first started in the trades, I'm just going to do a little intro if you don't mind here. When she first started in the trades a few years back, she was the only woman or one of...
I was one of the very first women in my union.
And bring this up.
Bring this up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And her union, that would be stationary engineers. She was one of the few women in Los Angeles who was a stationary engineer and in charge of keeping those large high-rises standing and running. And Pat got a lot of terrible sexist comments and harassment, you might say, but she hung in there. And her success story, can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that she ended up becoming, this is just so exciting to me, after all those years of taking crap from, the good old boys club, she ended up becoming vice president of the entire Los Angeles and Las Vegas area, vice president of the Union of the Stationary Engineers. And the same guys that a couple decades earlier that had harassed her congratulated her at her announcement of her becoming vice president. Is that right?
Yeah,
Pat?
that's true.
Yes.
I saved a lot of men's jobs.
And I'm just so proud of her, and she's really broke the glass ceiling there and a pioneer. And another thing that Pat's done that's important down in Los Angeles is she was instrumental in getting up the Rosie the Riveter. Is it the Long Beach? Explain this, Pat.
It's the Long Beach Rosie the Riveter Memorial Park, and it used to be Boeing territory. It used to have a factory on it. And Councilwoman Jerry Shipsky from Long Beach got the park up and running. She's on the board for the park. And they gave us tradeswomen, current-day tradeswomen, one entire side of the wall. We have now, I think, about 30 plaques. Most of us are still alive. And it's to show off to the general public the kinds of trades that we do and the kind of work that we do. On the left side of the wall is for the original Rosies in the 1940s, which were our heroes, and they're the ones that proved to the world that we could do these kinds of jobs. So we have history, and we have present-day women also, and it's a really awesome project.
And Pat, from what I understand of the Rosie women in the trades, there was a couple of decades of a gap because the women, this is World War II, they were doing the work of men in the trades, and then the men came home from World War II, and the women were sent back home to be housewives, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't really until the 70s, 80s when women were entering again into these trades? Is that what happened?
Yes, there were lawsuits that actually came out of the Black Civil Rights Movement, and it ended up including the women because African-American males and women were held out of the high-dollar paying construction industry.
Right.
And there were lawsuits that were put in place, and as a result of executive orders, they had to begin opening up the doors to all of us.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so we have a little party of women in the trades here. In fact, if anybody needs some construction, we've got everything right here. Every trade represented pretty much, right? So I don't know if you guys are comfortable introducing yourselves or if you want Pat to introduce you and just give a shout out to your particular union. So go ahead. The mic is yours, honey. Speak up.
Oh, great. Hi, I'm Leslie Gill, and I'm from Local 605, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters, and I live down in the Monterey area.
Fantastic.
I'm Mary Huber, and I'm from Plumbers and Steam Fitters, Local 467. I started in the trade in 1977. I was the second woman in California to get into the plumbing and pipe fitting unions, and I just retired last year.
So you must have experienced a lot of that discrimination then.
Oh boy, at the beginning, yes.
They
Yes.
thought you couldn't do it, or you wouldn't last, or
You're right.
both, huh?
And I did. I lasted, so. 36
Well,
years,
congratulations.
yeah. Thank you.
And continue.
Hi, I'm Rita. I'm a sheet metal worker, Local 104. We do heating and air conditioning. I'm also the vice president of our local.
Yay, right. Another woman in power, that's what we need.
Hi, I'm Tara Randazzo. I'm from Local 25, Long Island, New York. I'm with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Fantastic. I'm so happy you ladies are here tonight. And the one thing that Pat has been active, and probably all of you, is getting young women and men, whoever, into the trades. And if anybody is out there listening that has a youngster in their life that they would like to get involved in the trades, how do you go about it? How do I, if I have my child and I want him to become a plumber, pipe fitter, what do I do? Him or her?
One of the things, they would have to contact the local union in their area having to do with the trade. And also, especially if they're women, have them look up on Facebook, Sisters in the Building Trades, that's out of Seattle, or Journeyman, which is Journeyman with a Venus symbol where the O is. They're out of Canada, but they're both places are worldwide, and they're both open to anybody, male or female, around the world.
And you've networked. Oh, go ahead.
Also, Tradeswomen, Inc., and many counties have pre-apprenticeship programs. And if your county area has a pre-apprenticeship program, that's a good place to start.
And they become
Once they graduate,
do they have to go to college? Is there any
it's
college?
like a semester long. It's like a I'm going to say a 15-week class where it's
coursework.
one night a week or something. And at the end of that, they're interviewed, and they have a good chance of getting into one of the unions in there.
And they start out as a
Apprentice.
Apprentice,
Yeah.
and then does each trade have a length of apprenticeship that you go through? 5 years, is that typical?
4 years for the carpenters.
And 3 years for iron workers. 3 years for iron workers.
So they're between 3 and 5 years generally, and you get paid, of course, while you're working as an
yes.
apprentice. And then once you pass your apprenticeship, you're a journeyman, or in your case, journeywomen. And then you're great. You've got a trade, and it's pretty good work.
The trade, a pension, insurance.
Yeah, all the benefits.
Yeah.
That's great, fantastic, and building America and beyond. And actually, I want to bring that up too, because the internet, and especially social media, Pat's been involved with that, and you ladies have networked now around the world with women in trades from everywhere. From how many different countries?
Well, predominantly from Australia. We have a women's conference every year, a tradeswomen's conference. This year it's going to be in Los Angeles, the last weekend in April. But last year we had 7 women from Australia. This year we have women coming from Sweden. We have women coming also from Canada. We've had women from Nairobi, wasn't it, 2 years ago? Nairobi, I think so. UK. UK is showing up this year. So we are definitely worldwide. We have Facebook groups that are worldwide. It's really awesome.
And so
that we've been able to link.
it must be really helpful if a woman is in the trade and she's like out in the middle of nowhere and she's experiencing some of that discrimination that you ladies went through, and you can network and you can give her advice. And
Oh, absolutely. That was my case. I came into the Carpenters Union, and at the time we only had one other woman in, and I really didn't get a lot of time to talk with her. And so on my first couple jobs, I was really, kind of in new territory. And because of the Facebook group that I belong to, I got to know Pat, I got to know Tara, I got to know Mary, and I got to know all these other tradeswomen that were able, I could post at break time, this and this is happening at lunchtime. I would have all these words of encouragement, all these directions of what to do and how to handle myself. And just what I learned from these other women's experiences has aided me so well in my apprenticeship. And really, it's helped me so much just to be a better carpenter in general, and just to show like the union pride, like having these other women to look up to. So I've been very lucky in my apprenticeship. And then also I have to say that I come from the Northern California region of the Carpenters Union, and so far my business agents and the people in leadership have been really supportive of me. And so, I've had a really great experience as a carpenter.
Right. The Bay Area would be, one of the more liberal places, of course, for women to enter that. But, it's encouraging what you do, because if there are women that are in a place that's not so progressive, they might experience what you just discussed. So I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome. Now, you talked about your yearly get-together at your conference. And when is the next conference?
The next conference, it's Women Building the Nation, and it's May 1st through 3rd at the Sheraton Gateway LAX in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. So we've had, last year was almost 1,000 attendees, which was great. And the thing is, too, is quite often you're the only female on a job site, so you do feel a little isolated, or you're the only female in a general membership meeting.
Right.
So to have the encouragement is great, because they're great careers. Mm-hmm. They really are. It's just, you are definitely a minority.
Mm-hmm. Right. So do you have anything else to say, Pat, about, one thing I wanted to mention too is you all talked about the unions, and the unions are not in a particularly a good place right now, and I'm struggling in my job with my union. The company I work for is actually trying to bust my union. And how is that going for the trades right now? How is anybody want to speak to the union?
Well, it's always a challenge, especially because you have two sides fighting for the same goal, which is a job. Collective bargaining hands down beats independent bargaining every day of the week. The beauty that we have as far as the building trades are concerned with the unions is that the educational system is completely self-funded. So we don't look outside for our education, although you could, and we don't unfortunately train outside of those who are union members. So while our unions differ, the goal is still the same. We do have a lot of things that are eating away at unions. This area up here is a little less unionized than where I'm from. But what we try to do is a lot of locals will do what they call salting, which is trying to organize. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes what they'll do is they'll do that overtly, and they know that we're coming there to supply them with manpower or human power from the union halls, and to show them that what we have to offer. And I think in that aspect is how it's a win-win situation, and that way, we can broaden our horizons and open folks' eyes to what the quality of our work craftsmanship is.
Right. Well, I'm so glad you're all doing what you're doing, and congratulations to you all, and thank you for joining me here tonight. And Pat, do you have anything else you want to mention, or?
Just that any woman that wants to go into it, get mentors, and don't be afraid to get into the jobs, because they're awesome careers. I spent 32 years. We've got another, Mary was longer, 35 years? 36 years. They're good, viable careers, and it's on-the-job training. You don't have to pay for it. It's all paid for through union members' dues. So my after I graduated from the apprenticeship, part of my dues for the rest of my career went to train the young kids. That's what we call them. It's really a great opportunity for somebody who doesn't want to go to college or doesn't have the financial means to.
Right.
They're really great careers.
And you talked about you knew a number of single moms that were in the trades, and I might imagine that they might not be real supportive if, like, you have to take off if your children are sick or something. Is there problems with that?
That's a problem, but right now our society is changing, and we have a lot of males that are parents, single parents also. So now
True.
It's not just the women, it's also the men. So they're beginning to rethink that problem.
Right. Okay, well, anybody else? Any shout-outs here tonight to your crew members?
Oh, I'd like to say hi to my friend Mark Feldstein from Local 134 IBEW. Hi, Mark. Hope you're feeling better.
These women are funny. I don't know.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks so much for joining me.
Yes, thank you. And shout out to all of our wonderful tradeswomen that are listening.
Oh, yeah. Hello, tradeswomen chat people.
Yes, right. And the engineers particularly, I've hung out with some of Pat's engineer buddies. What a crazy crowd that one is. Make sure you have the right tool for the right job. That's what I learned about the engineers. A funny story I will tell you later. But thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for the women in the building trades here today for joining me. And thanks, everyone, for listening tonight. We're going to get back to the music. This is KOWS 107.3 FM, community radio for West Sonoma County and streaming live worldwide at KOWS.FM. The time is 10 p.m., and this is the ICATS.